Welcome back to another video. It's Wednesday. It's 4:34 in the morning. Headed to the gym. Another morning workout talk. Man, at this time in the morning, it's so peaceful, man. It's amazing what the impact of humanity can do to a person's psyche. And I say that because when there's no one on the road and it's dark, there's a sense of peace that overwhelms me in a good way. And it allows for me to have clarity of thought. It allows me to penetrate the deeper recesses of my own soul, to extrapolate things out of me that I never thought that I had. However, it is sort of eye-opening to me that when the roads get busier and traffic starts to mount, and you're walking through people, whether it's in a grocery store or whatever, the energy changes. It's hard to think then. You're just trying to make it through the day. You're just trying to navigate the social constructs of a jungle that seems to be ahead of you and in front of you. Obstacles to overcome at all times. I love waking up early. I used to hate it when I was younger. I hated waking up early. I would love to sleep late. But the older that I am, waking up early is my time to focus on self and just to be in my own space before I head in that gym. Because going into the gym, that's another obstacle I have to face. I have to face resistance. I have to push myself. It's also mental. It's also a mental exercise as well, because when you're going against the resistance and you're pushing yourself, you're telling yourself, okay, I got 10 more seconds, or I have one more rep, and you're constantly talking to yourself. And as I said before on my last morning's talk video, I said that all those are forms of meditation. Talking to yourself, motivating yourself, having that intrapersonal communication flowing within you. Hold on, there's in my space, there's like somebody put a coat, one of those power drink cans in my space, so I'm gonna have to move it. I don't want to run it over. All right, hold on. Oh, okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah. So it's me parking. I'm backing into my parking space. I say my parking space as if I owned it, but you know how we are when we're creatures of habit. When we find a space that what am I buckling up for? Parked. But yeah, when you have a particular space that you used to park at, you start calling it my space, and you get offended when somebody else gets in that space. You're like, "But why are you parking my spot?" So that lets you know that there's a little bit of God complex in all of us. We have a little degree sense of entitlement to certain things, because I think that it's innately in us. It's in our DNA. The gods, the so-called fake gods that created us, these extraterrestrial beings, these Anunnaki beings, these highly technologically advanced beings that created us, they put within our DNA a little bit of their divine spark. And so we kind of have that sense of entitlement. And Source is the creator of everything, because Source is the beginning of everything. And Source is neither male or female. And so even all creatures have that sense of entitlement. So when you have that, it's just your your God essence trying to emerge in a 3D reality that has us kind of trapped. And it's a 3D reality because we can't travel back and forth in time. We can only stay in the present. And there are physical limitations to this realm. We can't walk through walls. We can't levitate. We can't do certain things that people would deem supernatural. We're bound by the natural laws of man. The laws of physics keeps us bound in this reality. So, I know I got off on a tangent there, but I was just saying that's why you get this idea of this is mine, and yeah, when I go to the gym, it's a good thing. One of somebody on my channel commented. I think it was LeBron James Boulay. That guy. I forgot his name, but he's LeBron Boulay something. I like the guy's feeds. He gives a lot of quick shorts, and I like his veracity and his aggressiveness. He just calls things as they are. He's funny to me sometimes, some of the things he says. And he says that the morning workout is better than coffee. And he's absolutely right, because there are a lot of people who feel dependent on coffee. They come to work, I need my coffee. I've never drank coffee in my life. I probably tasted it a couple of times just to see what the big deal is, and I don't care for it. I don't care for it. Natural coffee is getting your ass up and working out. It's harder to do that. It's much easier to throw a chemical inside your body and call it a day. But yeah, man. But I find it, I don't know if you guys, if you do go to the gym, like when you go in there, like, as a melanated man, I don't see too many melanated women in the gym. You know, I commend the other ladies that are in there, because number one, you don't see too many women in the gym, and I don't see my kind of women in there. I don't see my people in there. Very few. I guess a lot of them don't want to sweat out their perm or sweat out their hairstyle. They're not in there. But if you look at the overall statistics of different races of women, our women, the melanated women, are the biggest, you know. And I'm not even talking about when they say the average size of a woman, because it's not even about the average size, because we know different races, the bone density of women are different in different races. I'm just talking about the BMI, body mass index, and when you factor in height and weight. Overall, melanated women are just the biggest, in a bad way. It's not because they have bigger butts or bigger boobs. That's not it. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being fat. I'm talking about being borderline obese or being obese. And again, it goes back to the kind of diet we have adopted. I believe that melanated women on the planet are the most beautiful women in the world. When we subscribe to a natural foods diet, because then our natural essence and our natural beauty starts to emerge and flourish outside the confines of this processed foods industry that's being, waged and compressed upon our reality. They compress us with this stuff. You can't go anywhere without being inundated with processed foods. Even places that deem to sell healthy foods are still selling you processed foods. I pretty much only eat once a day. I'm gonna eat some apples and nuts. You guys saw the video when I cut up some cucumbers and put some avocado. I chopped up some avocados, sprinkled a little bit of sea salt on there, and ate that. I eat oranges. The only thing I would eat that you would consider processed, but it's not actually processed, is Siete chips. Siete, Siete chips. They're made with avocado oil, and I love eating the queso chips. I love those. I snack on those before I actually eat, because when I work out, I sweat a lot, so my body is releasing a lot of electrolytes. So it's good to kind of, replenish the electrolytes that you've lost due to your workout. You can replace your electrolytes with water, but sometimes water is not enough. So my body sometimes has a craving for certain things, and it's usually craving salt, because I've lost a lot of salt. So I have to be very intentional in choosing which type of salty snacks that I'm gonna eat. And that's what I get. I usually eat Siete chips. I eat a lot of pecans, Brazilian nuts, apples, oranges, cucumbers, watermelon. That's, to be honest with you, that is my diet. I don't eat much. I'm not this guy. I'm not a foodie. And I survive. I'm fine. I have more energy than people who eat a lot. As a matter of fact, I would argue and say people who eat a lot are more fatigued and tired. They actually show more signs of lethargy, mental lethargy and physical lethargy. They're just out of it. And when I'm at work, a lot of times when I'm working with people, and they'll tell me, "Yo, I'm going for lunch. You need anything to eat?" I'm like, "No, I'm fine." And they look at me like, "But you haven't eaten." And I'm looking in my head like, "It's okay. I'm fine. I'm not dying, you know." But you know, that leptin and ghrelin hormone, that connection between those two hormones is just ravaged, because the ghrelin hormone is the hunger hormone that's in the stomach. And the stomach, when you continually put junk food in your stomach, you're continually going to want to eat. And even if you go to a restaurant or fast food restaurant to get fast food, it's still, to a degree, empty caloric foods, because those foods are not nutritionally dense and they're packed with so much oils and bad fats that those things, your cells don't thrive on those things. Those are not things to infuse your cells with what it needs. They're not vital minerals to your cells, hence the term vitamins. Those aren't vital minerals. So what happens is that you eat, they've injected those foods with so much addictive chemicals that after you eat, in about 2 hours, you're hungry again. You have the food in your stomach, but because your cells haven't gotten the nutrients that it needs, it sends neurotransmitters to your stomach, because your stomach has its own brain. Every organ has its own brain, believe it or not. Every organ has its own brain and has its own way of functioning. So the ghrelin hormone in the stomach is like, "Hey man, I'm hungry again." Because it's not that you're hungry, it's that you're lacking the nutrients that your body needs, so you end up overeating. So 2 hours after you've eaten, you're putting something in your mouth again. The ghrelin hormone is starved for nutrients. If the ghrelin hormone gets the nutrients that it needs, it shuts off. That's when the leptin hormone kicks in. The leptin hormone is the one that says, "Okay, man, everything's good. We're satiated. You don't need to eat anymore." The leptin hormone is the hormone that keeps food away. It's like saying, "We're good." Now the body can start functioning on other parts. The energy, the enzymatic response inside the body that's being emitted to break down foods cannot be used to charge up other parts of your body. That's why when a lot of people eat a lot, all their energy is focused on breaking down the food. The enzymatic response in the body, all the enzymes are there. So that's why your body feels like you're, "Oh, I ate so much, I'm so tired." Yeah, you're tired because your body wants to put you at rest so it can use all the energy to break down the food that you ate. As a matter of fact, the more you eat, the quicker you age, because you're eating toxic foods. Because if you eat natural foods, you'll feel fuller because you're getting the nutrients that you need. So in essence, the more natural foods you eat, the less you eat, because those natural foods are fibrous filled. They're infused with so much fiber, and a right balance of complex carbs, and complex carbs, good fats like avocados. So you get natural things that your body actually needs. And when your body gets what it needs, it's not going to be craving more things. So you end up eating less because you feel fuller. The leptin hormone kicks in and says, "Okay, I'm good, I'm satiated." And the ghrelin hormone is satiated as well. There's a connection between the leptin and the ghrelin hormone. And that's what happens. If I were a melanated woman would eat right, oh my God. There's nothing more beautiful than a melanated woman that's beautiful. There's nothing more beautiful in the world. Hands down. But most of our women are obese. And when they do come to the gym, they don't have any guidance. They're on the elliptical, they're on the treadmill. They're not lifting any weights. They're trying to do cardio, but they go back home to eat the same bad foods. And I'm not the one to intrude on anybody's workout, but sometimes I'm thinking, I wish they would just talk to me and ask me a question. It's your eating, ma'am. 70% of the way you look is your eating. It's not even the gym. You can go to the gym every single day of your life, Monday through Sunday, which I don't recommend because it's good to give your body a rest. That's why I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I went Monday, today's Wednesday. All right, today's Wednesday, and I'm going to go Friday. That's it. And the rest of the time, I'm just watching what I eat. you actually will see you'll see greater gains in your workouts, and in how hard you can go and how hard you can push yourself when you start eating right. You'll find yourself doing more things, and you're wondering, like, why do I have so much energy? Well, it's because you're eating right and you're working out. But the eating right is more 75% of everything. It's not the workouts. People think I just go to the gym, and after I go to the gym, I'm gonna just slam down a Monster drink and go to, I don't know, Subway and get a breaded sandwich, which converts to glucose, which is nothing but sugar, and get a Subway sandwich, which is nothing but salty meats, processed salty meats. The only thing probably natural about Subway is probably the vegetables, but you don't even know if the vegetables are organic or not. So it's a minefield out here. I mean, just picking out what kind of foods to eat is tough. It's tough. But I've just found my niche. It's hard. It was hard to get to where I am today. It just took practice. It just took constant research, and then you have to find what works for you. I'm not telling you to eat just like me. I just told you what I do eat, and I can do that. My stomach is used to that because our body is huge in adapting to our environment. We're very, very versatile. Believe it or not, you'll be amazed what the human body can take and what the human mind can adapt itself to. You don't need that much food. What you do need is water, because 75% of the human body is water. What you cannot go without is water. You can go without food for long hours. It's water that you cannot go without. But I find it very alarming. A lot of people don't even like water. They drink water and they're like, oh, they drink water as if it's a chore, it's a duty. But you put a Coke in front of them. Oh, my melanated people love Coke. Well, every job I go to, they go to the little Coke machine and push the little button. I gotta have my Coke. I'm like, man, that's like the worst drink you can drink ever. You might as well drink arsenic. Coke is horrible. I can't even remember the last time I drank a soda, man. I'll be real. This is not me tooting my own horn, but it doesn't even exist to me. I look at that stuff, I'm like, man, that's just poison. When you go down the soda aisle in any grocery store, I'm like, all of these are just poisons. Sugar, man, sugar. Sugar is very addictive. There was a documentary that I watched a while ago on Netflix. There was a they did an experiment with some mice. So they gave one group of mice were induced with cocaine, all right, to make them to cause that addiction in them, and the other group were just left alone, right? And what they did is that they starved both groups. Group A, that was cocaine induced, and Group B, that were not cocaine induced. They starved these mice for a long time. And so what happens is that over a week or so, they end up bringing out food for the mice. The mice that were addicted to cocaine, they didn't run to the food when food was brought out, because what they did, they put the cocaine and the mice food. And what happened is that all the mice that were cocaine induced, they went to the cocaine. They were like, man, to hell with the food, we want the cocaine. Then they did another, and the mice that were not cocaine induced, of course they went to the food because they don't know what cocaine is. They went to the food. Then they did another experiment with cocaine and sugar. You'd be amazed what happened with this. They starved the group that was cocaine induced, right? So what they did, they brought out the cocaine and they brought out the sugar, all right? And guess what happened? All the mice went to the sugar. You're like, what are you saying? I'm saying that sugar is more addictive than cocaine. These were cocaine-induced rats that had the taste of sugar. They weren't giving them sugar every day, but they would occasionally give the rats sugar. But they had the cocaine daily. You would think they would go to the cocaine. They're like, to hell with the cocaine. There's something about that sugar that we like. They all went to the sugar. All of them, 100% of the mice went to the sugar. So when people can't stop eating a certain way, when people can't leave those sweets alone, it's hard for people to change their diet, because it's the addiction to the sugar, and sugar comes in many forms. It's not just table sugar. There are all sorts of ways they can process sugar, and high fructose corn syrup is the worst type of sugar that you can actually put inside your body. All right, it's 4:54. People are lining up at the door. I'm about to get in here and get my workout in. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday. Thank you for indulging me and for something in the morning as I'm talking. I'm not talking live, so by the time you probably listen to this, it'll be probably later in the day. But leave a comment, tell me what you guys think. All right, take care. All right, bye.